We go. I do believe we're live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider novelty. That is the stream topic that I started my morning with when I gave my yoga class. And it was this inspired topic. I put some coconut cream in my coffee today. Not something I've ever done before. And I shared my first sip with Daniel, one of my students in class. He was drinking some green tea from China. I was drinking some coffee with coconut cream. And there was this moment in me of feeling like this state of celebration in my heart, getting to try something novel, right? And especially trying something novel and realizing that I like it, right? That there is some sort of joy to be extracted from this experience as it is. And it made me think about novelty as it relates to our lives, right? During the yoga practice, I shared this point that as we grow up, as we become adults, there are literally fewer and fewer things that we have not done before, right? And as a result, there might be this loss that we can feel as people in the way that it might seem like we're not young anymore, right? I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but that's the way that I interpreted it. It's like, I don't get to try new things because I've tried everything. I'm so old. I've tried all of these things already. Now I'm bored, or something like that. However, yesterday, I kind of showed myself from a very practical standpoint that I don't think that's how it works, in so many words. Because yesterday I spent like 7 hours, about 7 hours cleaning. Cleaned parts of the basement, cleaned our sunroom, washed the dishes, put them away, cleaned this space, swept in Zoe's room as well. And I had this experience during this whole process of feeling very young. The word that Joe used is liberated, right, in a way, where it took me back to this experience of being in a space again, technically for the first time in a very long time, where I get to take responsibility over the space as it is, right? And there was this sense of like lightheartedness and giddiness, joy in me to be able to do things, right? Maybe I can share it from this perspective of when I was a kid, right? Living with my parents. There are certain things in certain places in the home. And it's usually my mom who had the final say about where things are supposed to go and how things are supposed to look. And in that, there is this feeling of being not in control about the environment as I find it, or my ability to manipulate it the way that I might want to. And being able to do things here, change things, right? Put things in places that they weren't, move things around so that it creates a difference in the space, the feng shui of where it is we're living. It feels like a novel experience, right? Feels novel, and it makes my heart happy, even though it's something as simple as sweeping the floors, all right? Sweeping the floors and putting things away where they're in the way, at least for me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Dan is here. What's up, unboxing with Casca? What's up? That is an app that we, especially in South Africa, use to communicate with our friends and family. But I don't know if that's what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Dan, you feeling yet? I'm feeling pretty yet myself. Hey there, cow warrior. Is that Barnyard? You have a picture from Barnyard. Barnyard was one of my favorite movies as a kid. That scene of the mouse singing "I'm Mr. Boombastic" makes me so happy. You guys you just sent me a torch. Thanks, Cow Warrior. Thanks. What are you drinking? I'm drinking. Maybe I can show you. No, there's a little bit of it. I'm drinking black coffee with coconut creamer. Well, coconut cream, not the It's pretty much just basic coconut cream. What a pleasure to have you here with us. Joe is in the other room working the bird. It's nice having you here with us, dude. Sending you so much love. How are things on your side, Lane? Yeah, I ate far too many dino nuggets yesterday evening, and I'm paying for it. Novel. Novel experiences. Eat too many dino nuggets. Pay price. That's also a novelty, Dan. That's also a novelty. What can I say? Well, what I'm trying to say is that you're supposed to appreciate how you feel right now. That's the hippie woo woo that's coming out. That's what he's trying to tell you. He's being like, you got tummy aches because you ate too many dino nuggets. Have you considered that that is bliss? Have you considered that it's awesome? Have you? No. I'm sorry. I think it's not. It's not. It's like you think this is awesome, man. This sucks ass. I get it. I get it. But it is novel. Yeah? No. You eat too many dino nuggets all the time. Maybe it should be novel. Maybe that's the lesson for us to learn. For a second, I thought I was a snake on your neck. That was a snake on your neck. It's interesting that you come to that conclusion. I do like. I wanted to say identify, but I feel like it's become more and more cringe to do so. I like the Shiva fractal. All right, Shiva, and Shiva has snakes around his neck. It's one of those things that he does. And before I even learned about the Hindu gods in depth, I started wearing these scarves around my neck. And then as soon as I learned about Shiva and his whole character fractal, I identify strongly with a lot of the ways in which that entity shows up, right? Suddenly the scarf wearing felt very apt. It's like, yes, these are my snakes of pretty. Would be cool if my scarves were alive as well. All right, just doing like a little bit of a. No, wouldn't be cool. Would look weird. What are you drinking? Yeah, coconut cream coffee. What's your favorite artist? Visual artist? I think Alex Gray. I still do have a soft spot in my heart for Alex Gray's work. Musical artist? My favorite band, like when it comes to like an actual band, if it comes to a band that I would like to see, I think is Sum 41. Even though Fall Out Boy, close competitor for my attention. Singular artist? I think it has to be Alex Gray. I like Aesop Rock stuff as well, but that's only because Joe has introduced him to me as well. She has some of his plaques and stuff. He is definitely an artist too of note. Such a hard question. choosing a favorite. Why are you doing this to me? Sam here. I think you can make a whipped cream out of that stuff. I can imagine so. It was basically solid. I had to use a blender to get it mixed into my coffee, otherwise it'll be chunks. I've been traveling the past few days, but should be home tonight out in New York right now. Nice. I'm trusting that you're performing, Lay. Popeye's Black and Trench, bottled at home, man. Nugget after nugget, and I just couldn't stop. I guess it's awesome though. It was solid in the moment. I had a moment like that as well, actually. Right? Like after the fasting, like I didn't eat too much, but I ate at the wrong time. And I also felt this sense of like, this is great right now, but it wasn't the best moments later. That's a rug in your neck. It does have a little bit of ruggy qualities. Technically, it's like a dual-sided. This side is more gold. This side is more green. But it is very illustrious. Makes me feel very fancy when I wear this. This is the scarf. This is the second scarf I ever had. My first scarf, I danced literally into disintegration. I'm not even joking. By the time I was done with it, it was in tatters. It was literally hanging on by a string, but every string was hanging on by itself. The last time that I danced with that scarf, it was at Twilight and in hail. I was dancing in hail. The hail wasn't big enough to knock me out, but it was big enough to hurt. And that scarf, because of the water coming down as well, got so heavy that it became disintegrated. However, very soon, after I had received that scarf, one of my best friends, Christian, he let me know that he doesn't really feel that was my style. It was like red and black and yellow. I think there might have been some green elements, but that's your coffee, yeah? You're on your way, Zhao?
Scoot on over.
It's nice. Spending the morning with you.
Your friends.
Have a good day at work, Zhao.
Okay. Have a good day at home.
Thank you. Yeah. And I completely lost my train of thought a little bit. Oh yeah. And then one day he came to my place and he was like, here's a scarf. This is more your style, he says to me. Now the problem is the fact that I only have a single green shirt and I have no green pants. But I do want to wear that green shirt with this green scarf and make like a whole green fit. I guess I could have done it with my black pants. Me second guessing, should I change my outfit? No, I will not do so. I'm gonna stay right here and be comfortable. So y'all, taking this month to chill out. I've been going all out. I've been going out a lot and socializing, but I need to like do some yoga and meditate and cook. That would be helpful. That would do you a lot of good. Doing some good for you. Did you take a protein? Oh man, that got me, dude. Lane, you're nearby. Enjoy. I played a show last night in Bushwick, Dan. We caught a hotel in Jersey and we're hitting the road soon to get back to Michigan. I'm literally in Jersey, Lane. Let me know next time. I will come to your show. Oh, sorry that you missed that one. Part of me is like, how can we be better at letting each other know? But love is true. Love is true. Are you in Hoboken or JC, Lane? Dude, sick. I will try and give you a heads up. We have been playing New York a little more often recently. We have Julie here as well saying good morning, Julie. Dan saying, oh my goodness, Mel, that comment, your face. That got me off guard. Yeah, I was waiting to figure out if it was slang for pepness. I think it was. That's what I think it was signifying. But the fact that I got to read that let's call it inflammatory comment, It's not something that I'm completely opposed to. Yesterday, I had a meeting with Ryan. Some of you friends know who Ryan is. Ryan is the owner of the studio who helped certify me and who I'm teaching for. Yep, that's it. And me and Ryan have these every now and then kind of calls, and we check up on each other, and we find out what's going on in life and how we're settling, how we're coping with the reality of the situation we're in. And yesterday's conversation was beautiful. It felt very similar to the kinds of conversations we have, which is part of the course. It makes sense that we would. However, there was a moment where moderation of this space came up. And he mentioned that a part of him sees the negative comments and my responding to them as the juice. That's the exact words that he used. He was like, it's the juice, right? Sometimes you squeeze the fruit and then you get the juice. And that is to him some of the juice. And I resonated in some way with what it is he's saying. And the thing that I mentioned to him, and maybe we can all, like all the moderators in this space can lend me their ears. The thing that I told him that we would like to do, or that we are used to doing, is just keeping the space clear in a way where it serves everybody that's in it with us, right? And that more than anything, what we probably would have wished for is just some originality from the trolls, right? If they were giving us novel, and I think that is what today's stream topic is about. If they were giving us novel, new, original lines, like the one, like that you take your protein rip, right? That's pretty novel. I haven't seen that one before. That's the first time I'm seeing that one, right? Then we probably would leave them. But because they're so predictable, right? Either I'm trust fund baby, or I'm gay, or something about my hair, or something about the clothing I have on, right? What else? You look like this person, but those are rarely inflammatory, I think. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that maybe there's room for us to leave some of the trolley comments for me to read them. Maybe. However, I think it's still appropriate for us to banbo hammer the ones that aren't novel, right? If it's just the same thing again, maybe we can let one of them slide through once a week, kind of thing, right? In that way, maybe I'll get to respond to something that I've responded to before, and maybe even I'll get to respond in a way that I didn't before, in even more novel and interesting ways. Right. It should be, in part, about the entertainment value too, right? I want you friends to have a good time here with me. We're in Mawa right now, Dan. We're supposed to find an Airbnb in Jersey City, but the parking was horrendous. Dude, one of the first American experiences I had was being in Chicago and not finding parking, and then having to do like indoor parking. And then when we left, the price for that parking was $40. And we were there for like max 2 hours. I almost shat myself. Oh, $40 for having a car parked somewhere. Just for having it parked there. It was just standing there, and now you give us $40. It was nice having you stand your parking car there. $40. The freaking the frugalness in me shrivels up and dies. Fucking gets all scrawny. Yeah. Yeah, parking made me really not want a car. Made me be very happy to not have cars. Paying $40 for parking, having car. Don't like that. Would rather not have car ever. If I have to pay for 2 hours of parking, can you imagine? Can you imagine if I had like a job or something? I had a meeting, and that meeting goes on for 5 hours. Friggin' $100 parking. I'm serious. Even I think it was like $20 every hour. I think it was $20. I think like first 10 minutes, if it's only 10 minutes, you pay like $5, and then if it's more than 10 minutes and into the hour, it's 20, and then if it's 2 hours on its way to three, I think it's 40. And I saw the pricing, just so you know. I saw the pricing as we entered that parking, and I was like looking at Joe like, technically it's this way. Are you sure about this? And then we like kept looking. That was the worst part. That parking space was stacked. Like, I guess again, there was so little parking on the streets that we had to go look inside. And then we go look inside, and then we're like just driving and driving in circles in this like parking lot because like they're completely stacked. Like that parking lot probably makes, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like $20,000 a day, not more than that. Pisses me off. And then we're like looking for parking, and I'm like, maybe this is the universe giving us a sign that we're not supposed to park here. And then literally, I'm not even joking, as we basically come to the conclusion, you know what? Let's actually leave and try harder to find parking outside. Maybe we'll have to walk further to get to the place we were going, but maybe that'll be worth it. And then seconds. I'm not even joking. Like, okay, we're leaving, and then we turn the next corner, and then there's two parking spaces. I was like, oh, Mosa, of course, of course. Why wouldn't it be like that? So yeah, that's my little story about horrendous parking. I'm sorry to hear that, Lynn. In that context, I think so. Love is true. Yeah, let me just add this to the personal lexicon. What else? Cracks knuckles. Love the plans. How many do you have? Thank you, Jose Garcia, for Christ. I don't know. Technically, they're not. They're mine by extension, right? They're mine in the same way your friend's dog is also your dog. You know? You don't really need to know what the dog's name is. All you need to know is that it feels fluffy when you touch it, all right? All I know is that I like the way it looks. That's what I know. I don't know how many there are. A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm sure there's mini ones at the bottom of it. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 for a big one. There's like at least 7 down there, so 27. In the 30s. There's 30-ish plants inside this house. I hope you enjoy your answer. Yeah, big cities are rough. This time last year, we were up until 3 a.m. after a gig trying to find parking in Chicago. Yeah, that makes me want to figure out like how to fold myself, into like a very small little box. Just like a small, you know that scene from Ant-Man where he hits the button, the entire building becomes small, and he can like wheel it around. I'll have whatever that is, please. I would like to be able to make my car very small and then put it in a small little case and then put it in my pocket. All right. How cool would that be, Lane? Literally carry your car on the keychain. I think they would get destroyed though. We human beings are pretty rough wearing. Maybe they would be strong enough if they're that small. We're analyzing. Put down. It's not actually gonna happen, Melt. Really, I want to. I don't think it's actually possible. There is technically a lot of empty space between everything. So technically, there is room for it to be smaller, but I don't think it works that way. I don't think those fields want to be collapsed think it's kind of like a part of their horror jig. Hey, Joe is here with us. The cities aren't super friendly for travelers, but they are hotspots for musicians. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way, like you need to take your gear with you, right, Lane? That you have gears and amps, and I don't know if you have line arrays or tops. Like you have stuff. You have the stuff that you have to take with you to your gigs, and you're gonna have a vehicle for that. We got Joe saying Lane, Jose, Sam, Dan, MeltMore, friends above and below, near and far, here and there, now and later, lurking in the shadows, lending love and light, worky lurky, love to you all. Isn't that wholesome? Yeah. Joe shared a moment with me, did some yoga, I made us coffee, did both of us coconut cream in our coffees today. Feels nice. Feels novel. It is kind of velvety, and the coconut flavor is very prevalent. It's very much coconut flavored coffee now. I'm in a space of trying to produce more novelty right now. It's kind of where I find myself of like JK, much love. Joe, much love. That's a nice name. Yeah. How does one produce novelty? This coconut cream coffee is delicious. Thank you, Mel. Aw, yay. I was wondering if you had tasted it yet. I'm happy that you're enjoying it, Joe. Yes, welkom. Dankie is how we say thank you in Afrikaans. It's almost like danke in the German sense. I've been interested in getting into yoga lately. I tried a few routine videos on YouTube. Good, Lane. That is incredible to hear, bro. I'm super happy that you're doing that. There are a bunch of good YouTube videos. All right, finding one that you enjoy is the best that you can do. All right, try a bunch of different time frames. Like you can, if you wanted to. You can go for like 1.5 hour classes. However, the 1.5 hour classes will really take it out of you. I usually find myself comfortable in like the 30 minute. 30 minutes is kind of like my limit. And then I, personally, have a yoga class. Melt has lots of yoga vids on his channel, it's true. I did post some of my yoga classes videos. I have a 15 to 20 minute. Yeah, I struggle for the 30 minutes one right now. Yep. 30 minutes is a lot of doing yoga. People don't realize yoga is not easy. Yoga is challenging. Even more so if you do something like Ashtanga yoga where you have your ass kicked, right? Where the teacher's being in poses that you basically want to start making whimpering, crying sounds over are like giving you cues with velvety smoothness in their voices. Yes, now put your legs behind your head and perch yourself up on your fingertips and then run yourself to the front of your yoga. Not exactly. Yeah, love is true. We do live classes as well. They're tranquil, 20 minutes ish, and low on woo. Yes, that's true. My classes aren't very woo filled. I try to be very practical about my classes. Today's class, for example, was about novelty, right? Where instead of being woo woo with my class, I literally just did something simple like now with your hands on the floor, lift your fingers, keeping your palms still on the ground, right? Like that's as woo woo as my class got today. It's just like try this thing. See this thing, try this. See how it feels. Novel, right? Ashtanga with the cues are delivered with the snap of a whip. Get yourself into this painful pose right now. I think I've reached everyone. Like, tell us how it's been feeling, man. How have you been feeling after your yoga? That's the thing that's the most important. You've been getting stronger, or are you doing it for the mobility and flexibility? I am happy that you are. I can imagine with all of the driving that you're doing to travel, from place to place to perform your music, you're going to need the yoga to stay limber. Speaking novelty, Dan says, trying brand new flavors of Kendrick Lamar lychee and Cardi B cantaloupe on offer at Swaggered Products and Services. Yeah, I part of me imagines all of these things coming to fruition eventually, and then these streams being watched, in recording in the future, and then there actually being a Swaggart for them to go to. Like I actually just did an ad break, literally. I'm sorry if it is. Love is true. Darren is here with us too. Hey Darren, it's nice having you. During yoga, you did say eat the ice cream of discomfort. That's pretty abstract. It's very abstract, but it's not woo woo. Yeah, yeah, it's true. I did say that word. That is kind of funny that I did say that. Daniel and Louisiana took note of that part. We put ourselves in a wide-legged forward fold. And a wide-legged forward fold, especially if you're all the way down, touching the ground, especially if you're trying to get your elbows to touch the ground as well, it's not very comfortable. Mm-mm. And I was trying to make this joke about, or not even joke, but I put this cue down. How did I get to ice cream? I think it was like a moment of like wanting to scream in the discomfort of the pose. And then instead of like saying ice cream, like I am gonna scream, I said, let's eat the ice cream of discomfort. And I don't know how I got there. And it had to be one of those novel moments, right? Might catch you off guard, but I won't be like, now do a head stretch to connect with your neck chakra so that you can have the prana flow through you all the way to your toes while you connect with your bandhas. And I'm like, technically, those are all words that we use in yoga, and I don't disparage those words, but I am personally one of those individuals that like it's like too close. It's too close to dogma for me. Right? It's very like it's still real. The bandhas are like these locking points that you have in your body, so they're real, right? Prana, and pranayama is real. It's real. But again, to the outside person just coming into yoga, when hearing these concepts, it makes it feel even more foreign. Like, I don't know what these things are. I don't know how to lock my bandhas. I don't know what are you talking about? Oh, just clench your asshole. Clench your asshole, flex your core, and create I don't even know how to explain that. Lock your tongue and throat so that you can stop all of the energy from flowing out to your top of your head. Of course. You didn't know that? You should woo harder. Long-winded way of saying that is kind of one of those things that I do value in my class. I try to keep it very pragmatic, very grounded in the reality of every person's situation. One of the themes that I echo a lot in my class is just like a sense of self-appreciation, even pride in the self as well. Like, hey, look at you. Here you are on your yoga mat right now. Acknowledge that this is good. Celebrate yourself. See this as something valuable that you're doing for your body and for your life. And the love is true. Thank you, Joe, for echoing that. See, I need the full hour of yoga. I don't feel like it's a proper stretch unless it's a whole hour. You're probably doing yin yoga in that case. And yin yoga, because you're staying in a pose for as long as you are, in order to do enough poses, an hour is usually what's necessary. But it's, for me, a matter, when I do yoga, I push myself, all right? Like I reach a certain heart rate and a certain amount of strain, right? Like I want to be locking my arms out and feeling that sense of hurt that comes with pushing ourselves a little bit. Dude, we're gonna be passing out free swagger at Meltfest to get it going. Me just being like, are we testing these things on people or are they testing it for us? I'll check out your videos for sure. I'm definitely doing this for mobility and flexibility. Great. That's what my class is about as well. My class is literally a mobility and flexibility class. I did 2 different videos before leaving for this trip. Aw, Catherine. Thank you, friend, for blessing us again. It's nice seeing you here again. I think you were here for the first time yesterday. Might have been. Sending you blessings. I did 2 different videos before leaving for this trip. One felt great, and the other was difficult. I'm not a very flexible guy. I struggle with downward dog. For what it's worth, Lane, me too. Today, I couldn't put my feet down on the ground again. So it is one of those things that ebbs and flows. It took me, I think, 4 years before I was actually comfortable in downward facing dog, where I started seeing it as a rest pose, right? It took me 4 years to see downward dog as a rest pose. And that's the big thing with yoga as well, is that it's not a race. There's nowhere for you to get. It's not about the aesthetics. You probably will, become more aesthetic. Your arms will become more defined. You won't get bodybuilder arms, sorry to say, but you will get strong arms, right? Your core will become more defined and your chest will probably grow as well. But it will take years for it to do so. So it shouldn't be a practice of aesthetics. Then it's a matter of flexibility as well. Flexibility is one of those things that we can be very hasty with. And flexibility is essentially a function of how strong you are. Did you know that? That your body's ability to stop you from going as far as it thinks you can go, because if you go further than that, it doesn't know that it'll be able to bring you back from that space. All right. So in doing yoga, you not only strengthen your body, but you strengthen your body in a way that's functional, right? Again, the mobility and flexibility thing. It's like your body's ability to reach for things isn't just like some people. This is the way that I'm almost trying to get across to you. Some people think that muscle tightness or the inability to stretch is almost like a callus, like their muscles are shorter or something, right? When that's not the case. All of us have relatively similar muscle length, right? Because they have to connect to these bones. So in that way, the muscle is the same length for the most part. However, how far you're allowed to use that muscle and the tendons that might be attached to it, that is something you have to train. That is something you have to almost like teach your body. Hey, body, you are capable of this. You are capable of putting down your hands on the floor standing up. You can do that. And I'll show you over and over again. And I'll show you after I put myself in this position that I can bring myself back out of it. And then it's almost like your body gives you, at least in my personal experience, and maybe I'm talking on my, it gives you more and more rope, right? Gives you a little bit more leash, a little, and then before you know it, you're way more flexible. I'm open to maximum woo. I need to get back into my spiritual mindset again. I've been also trying to get back into the habit of regular meditation. That's awesome. Do you do vinyasa? I do hatha, technically. Vinyasa, again, is similar, but hatha yoga, at least the way that I share my practice, is very focused on breath, right? And I say very focused on breath because it takes equal importance. It's like a 50-50 balance. 50% moving, 50% breathing, right? And that is kind of like the unity that I try to bring in my class. What kind of yoga? Yeah, Dan. Downward dog isn't easy. It's going to bend the knees. It's better to bend the knees than to get the back to compensate. Imagine a string of energy that you're stretching from your palms to the base of your spine, all the way to the tips of your toes, actually. Like we have, as Joe said, we have these strings that's called fascia, right, of connective tissue that goes all the way from the tops of our heads to the tips of our toes. And when you put yourself in these poses, That technique. Remember when I was like, all of our muscles are the same, all right, same length? Fascia. Fascia is not like that. Fascia is one of those things that shorten the less you use them, right? If you've ever seen a very old person like hunched over, right, moving like that, the reason they're like curled into themselves like that is because they have fascia, literally shortening and shortening and shortening, pulls them into a little curl. A part of me wants to read to you. Hey Google, can you tell us about fascia and how it gets shorter and shorter as we age and if we don't stretch?
Actually, you might be thinking of fascia, not fuchsia, which is a flower or a color. Fascia is the connective tissue web that wraps around your muscles and organs. Why it shrinks? Dehydration. As we age, fascia loses water content and elasticity, becoming brittle. Adhesions. Without movement or stretching, the fibers glue together, causing stiffness and a limited range of motion. Postural set. If you stay in one position, like sitting, for too long, the fascia physically molds to that shape, making it feel shorter. Regular stretching and hydration keep these fibers sliding smoothly against each other instead of knotting up. Would you like me to find some simple stretches to help keep your fascia flexible?
Nay, I do simple stretches every day to keep my fascia flexible. So yeah, your body, you got a complicated body, very complicated, and taking care of it's the best thing that you can hope to do. It's gonna be one of those things that if you could, if you could buy what yoga does to your body, it would be one of the best-selling products on planet Earth. But the only thing that you need to buy is the time. All right, and my class is 15 to 20 minutes a day, all right? You can spare 15 to 20 minutes a day for one of the most valuable things that you can do. Nudgy, nudgy. Heels don't have to be flush to the ground and knees should not be locked. The focus is in the extension of the spine. It's true. It helps a lot, y'all. So much love. Melt teaches Hatha. It's true. Thank you again for the floating heart. We're not testing it, dog. This is marketing 101. You get footage of happy party people holding swagger. It's how Sprite beat 7 Up in the 80s. Love is true. I mean, taking pictures of people eating swagger. Yeah, you like that. You like that swagger? Takes picture. I'm not worried. No, I think I need to read Sam's message. And you deliberately cut out the floored Porto Johns from people losing their whole bottle. Like, that was the thing that I was thinking about. That was actually what I was thinking about, Sam. Where I was like, we're going to feed people free microbiome yogurt at a festival. And my mind was like, are we doing some sort of experiment? Are we guinea pigging these people? Are we seeing what will happen when toilets bo explodius? When the toilets go explode them because of all of the yogurt that was eaten. All right, these poor hippies haven't eaten anything in 3 days. Let's give them yogurt about it. I'm not worried about aesthetics. God, the thing that pushed me to start this is the upsurge of back pain lately. That's what got me into yoga, Lane. Extreme back pain at all times, right? I haven't been getting as much back pain as of late, but another thing that I can recommend, right? And this is going to be counter to what I'm supposed to be doing, Lane. Take magnesium glycinate, right? Me being like, yo, yoga is medicine and it's going to be good for you. And it is, and it will be. However, upon this whole process of me dealing with back pain and doing my yoga every day, there was still a little bit of underlying back pain. And I was like, oh, something is missing. Oh. And then I started taking magnesium glycinate about it. And then my back pain went away very soon after I started supplementing. So you're like, Melt, what is magnesium glycinate? It's essentially magnesium bonded to an amino acid, which means that instead of it just being a pure salt, it is it is something more bioavailable to your body. Your body knows how to use it. When it sees a magnesium attached to an amino acid, it goes like, oh yeah, I get room right here at the back for you. Come right in. All right. Where if it's magnesium oxide, suddenly it's like, guess we're gonna have to beat the goodness out of you, and then all of your molecules punch that magnesium oxide until maybe small little bits of it breaks off, and then maybe if you're lucky, you'll absorb a fleck or two. Start supplementing magnesium glycinate. Lane, I'm gonna say it one more. Glycinate, Glyci, glycinate, glycinate. I'm thinking that's how it's spelled. It'll help, bro. If you haven't been taking, if you don't get enough magnesium in your body, that's a good place to start if you're dealing with a lot of joint pain and back pain. Though, through conversations with a few friends, I landed on yoga. It will help. Like, again, the yoga is the physical medication, and then the magnesium will just be like giving your body what it needs in order to do the work, right? So, like, pairing the yoga with the magnesium would be the best option. Yoga's what helped me with that, Lane. It'll help build the muscles back there where you need to keep everything in alignment. Hello, first time here. Are you a yogi? Hey, Mr. Funk Congress. Yes, I am. We actually had a whole conversation, me and Ryan, yesterday about this, that I should, during these live streams, provide some sort of means, like a link or something, for the friends that are curious and interested to potentially join my yoga classes through the studio. I am a yogi. Feels a little bit odd to say it that way. I like saying I'm a yoga practitioner because I teach and I practice every day. But me and Joe had a whole thing about practitioner being like something that usually shows up in the medical sense, right? Like I'm a medical practitioner, right? And yeah, the word yogi feels a little bit culturally appropriate for just a bit. Just like can I be a yogi? Is anybody gonna be offended if I say I'm yogi? I am a certified teacher at the very least. What's good, King? Open the shoulders and walk with your head high, King. Thank you, Rain Cook. Love that, bro. Bless you too. Thank you for blessing me with some love. Your chosen Google voice sounds like a man. What? Hey, Google. Why do people think your voice sucks?
Voice preference is subjective. Some find AI tones too robotic or like.
What's wrong with that? I'm pretty sure I changed my voice. And I don't think it was that one. It was shame, oh. Never buy a class from that shirt. I don't sell any classes. I give classes, right? I think there's a difference. Think if I was like doing one pre-recorded. This is how you make buy money. You want lots and lots of money? Buy my class. Then I have lots and lots of money, and you just have a little bit less. And then I'll tell you about how all you have to do is sell this very good class for money, like you just bought, and then you'll have money like I do. Thank you very much. I don't know if I'll be able to do that ever. Maybe someday. Maybe if I have something to teach that is of value, I'll probably give it away for free anyway. Technically, I give my yoga classes away for free as well. It's just a matter of like, if you want to support my journey, right? If you don't mind the idea of me being able to afford, a coffee every now and then you can pay for my class, right? But I do give it away for free because, again, it's more valuable for you and for me that you're practicing yoga than it is for me to get money for you practicing yoga, right? And I say that literally. It is more valuable to me, even to me, to know that you're practicing yoga, period, than it is for me to get money in teaching you yoga. You heard? Practice some yoga and then tell me about it. And then you'll see the smile on my face. You'll be like, wow, you doing yoga? Nice. Nice. Hi, it's me, Ava. Hey, Ava. It's nice having you. Lane says, if it continues past regular yoga practice, I'll consider taking the magnesium glycinate stuff. I've been suggested some other things to take to improve sleep. Yeah, magnesium glycinate improves sleep as well. All right, it's one of those things. It has 200 processes. Hey Google. Apparently, magnesium has over 200 different things that it does in the body. You wanna give us like a short list of the main ones?
Actually, it's even more impressive. Magnesium is a cofactor in over 300 enzymatic reactions.
300 enzymatic reactions. All right, so your body really uses this stuff. Nay, nay. I'm okay. I'm fine. I was gonna read that. It's gone. Now I mean, that was enough. 300 enzymatic reactions, which means your body uses it for a lot, including sleep, including fixing your back pain. Melt. When you get your green card, consider teaching in a studio. Male yoga teachers are always in short supply. I have considered that. I don't know if there's any yoga studios in this area. I might have to move somewhere else if I really want to do that, like teach in studio. But I do technically teach in a studio right now, technically. Lane, what time have you been practicing? What's wrong with that? Who distilled kiss ass? Nothing. Nothing, if that's your preference. I feel like I missed some context. Hey Dan, Diddy took gotta run. Time for haircut. Nice, Dan. Have a good one. Happy Friday the 13th. Watch out for the guys with the goalie masks on. It is Friday the 13th. It's Friday. Suddenly, it dawns on me that the weekend starts today. Me and Joe are planning like a cookie bake day for our Valentine's Day together. Until then, I say springtime yoga in the park. That does sound nice. Doing some springtime yogas. The answer is still peppers. Go get your magnesium. The answer is still peppers. Go get. I'm like a little bit lost, but yes, peppers. Get your magnesium. It really is like I haven't been supplementing my magnesium, and I think I'm close. I'm close to starting to notice. I'm like a week out. I'll go check at the CVS if they have magnesium glycinate. I'm gonna get myself some. It helps. It helps. Helps a little bit. Melt, my friends. I was with yesterday. We're begging for yoga in our town. Good. Start a yoga studio. Open a studio. There are buildings for sale. Just big old. And I think that one industrial looking building could be an awesome yoga studio. I just don't know what it cost. What I do know is that I definitely don't have any money. And I also double know that I won't be allowed to get small business loans when I do get a green card. Love that. That's awesome. But at least Joe, will be able to get small business loans. So maybe she can start a yoga studio with me. Okay, actually, haircut time. Love you, Dan. Have a great rest of your day, Dan. Get them hairs, all spiffy, Dan. Love you, dude. I was thinking about potentially getting a haircut soon as well. Me and Joe, at the very least, need to get this knocked down again and starting to get there. And then I'm going to keep growing it up top until I have my my Marge Simpson look on, where I go maximum bow uppiest. Bow maxius, bow upper. Yeah. This beam of light. You what? You what now? You said a what? Bow blasting my eyeballs. Alrighty. Okay. I am calm. Hey, it's almost been an hour. Look at that. I was like wondering for a second. You know what that means. It is time for us to pull a card. But before we do, I can show you yesterday's flower and read you a poem. Oh my goodness. It's been a while since we did that, huh? I have a new review from one of my clients. Let's see. This is one of my yoga things. Oh no. I hope they said something nice. Sometimes they do say something nice. One time, someone went, something, something, I'll never come back. I was so hurt. They said something. They said something so hurtful. Password wrong. What's happening? Sign in. This is one of those breathwork exercises kind of thing. What is your problem? Close it. And then open it back up again. Ah, maybe that's it. Maybe it doesn't like it being auto-completed. Yeah, well, that seemed to be the problem. Client feedback. Ah, I mean, no suggestions. Was a good way to start the morning. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. Who did that? Anna Swanson and Tom Fox. Two people that was their first times. One first time in the studio, one first time with me. Thank you for showing up and for conquering the hardest part. See you again soon. It's a pleasure. Sharing this class with you. Yay! Ascendius clients messages. They did send me some feedback. Right, that's nice. Yeah, still that one time. It only happened once. But that person was like, hated that. I'll never be back. I'll never come back. Like, and I specifically remember the never part. Like, they were really stressing. Never will that ever happen again. Jim, let's go, mate. You're growing roots in that couch. Constantine posted. That's pretty funny. Maybe I'm trying to get rooted like these plants. Have you considered that being rooted is nice? I like it. Here is yesterday's flower. Oh, you're like, Melt, I can't see there. Bring it closer. Okay, fine. Better. That is a bit better. Yeah, look at these entities. Oh, my heart eyes. Oh, that really hit me, Xiao. That's so sweet. Nah, we just got out of his yoga class. We're growing roots from our grounded heels and blooming our energy through our crown chakras. Yeah, there it is. There it is. You better believe that we are crown chakraing, showing you things that you've never seen before. What is that? That dude looks like he saw something he wasn't supposed to see. This guy looks like he's laughing at this guy for seeing something he's not supposed to see. These guys looks like they're going, ooh, did you just see that thing that we weren't supposed to see? Oh my goodness. Look at those little sensory bits. Yeah. Alrighty. And then I'll read you the poem that went alongside it. Flowers from Deed, it's called. You've heard about growing flowers from seed. Now get ready for Flowers from deed. For every flower that grows, first there's a seed planted, some by hand or wind, some in soil or mind, all capable of becoming something beautiful. I wonder sometimes what makes one flower more than the next. Smells, layers, and colors that amaze all have a certain expression of self, and yet it's me that gets to see value or not. How much have I lost in the drought? What needs my water right now? Somewhere in the middle of the flowers I fall. Somewhere in the middle of the flowers I fall. Skubau Schlubloopers. Schlabbery Schluber. Schlambamberish. Schlaba. I'll say Schlabber. One of those Schlabber moments. Galvin Goo. It's nice having you here, bro. I'll join his yoga if he hits the gym. We both come out better. I want him to do well. That's nice, Constantine. For what it's worth, I gained most of my muscle mass in the gym, I'm pretty sure, right? Doing a Bowflexius. I like the gym. The gym is just something you have to pay for, right? You gotta pay for the gym. I don't have to pay but once for my yoga mat. And then I can lay my yoga mat on any surface and boom, there is my workout place, right? Get to roll my whole workout place into a small little tube and put it in the car with me if I wanted to. Slobber indie. Got some slobber. Namaskaram, Nagas, and Melty. Hey, Hoopty Hoops. It's nice having you here. I was wondering about that message. Thank you. Thank you, Sam, for clearing that comment. Does home gym count? I'll do it with you. I mean, could. I do want to get myself a kettlebell. That is the one thing that I think I'm missing, right? I need to do some kettlebell exercises. I need to lift heavy thing, and I need to like over my head and stuff and get my shoulders extra Bojacky. I think that is something that I could do. But I don't have to go to a gym to do so. And technically, Jared, one of our friends, has recommended that I come in work out at his gym. He has a gym in his basement. So I am considering, if I will do gym stuff, probably go to his gym. Maybe lift some weights. Do a little bit of like isolations on my arms. I think my legs are pretty good though. Especially these days, riding that freaking wheel of mine. My legs feel like they're explode. Like I can barely ride that thing for more than 30 minutes at a time. Then I have to like do some leg stretches about it. One of you friends need to tell me when to stop. And then when I see a stop in chat, I will stop flaring these cards. Where is your beautiful wife? My beautiful wife is at work right now. Make an Amazon list. I'll buy it. I can afford it. Don't you challenge me to a good time, Constantine. I'll take you up on that offer, bro. I'll be like, oh yeah, I would like some stretchy bands. I would like some heavy-duty stretch bands. I would like some kettlebells. I would like one of those maces, you know? Those little bats, those heavy bats. All right, so you can do like, kind of, get you all strong. Stop. Well, this is the one that my thumb was on when I saw that stop. Looks like a cool card. I like yoga for personal reasons. Scarves are cool. Snakes are cooler. I think Hoopty Hoopy is starting at the start of this live stream. Maybe that's also a part of the reason that I sometimes feel like I miss what Hoopy is saying. Because he's talking to the past. He's talking to the before 4 times me. Hoop-de-doo. Good morning, fam. We love a hoop-de-hoops. Thank you for joining us too, bro. We pulled Pleiades. The Pleiades, I have jokingly called myself a Palladian before. Are we going to become ascended masters together? Floating off of the surface of the planet? Hoop-de-hoops, Lane Sam, yes, yoga cured my back pains, over 20 years doing it. Yep, sometimes it'll take 20 years, but then suddenly, your body will start appreciating all of the hard work you've been doing. Meet you halfway, ideally. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. That is a big mission. One more time. Pleiades. 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 I think it's one of the final cards. One of the last cards in the deck. Literally the last card in the entirety of the deck. I'm fairly certain that wherever Ascended Masters go, there's a hard restriction on profanity, which means I'm out. Well, I can tell you now, Sam, that the Ascended Masters are not easily offended. And as a result, your profanities will not really go noticed. They'll be like, oh, that little spicy one likes expressing herself spicily. That's so awesome, Hoops. You've been in yoga for over 20 years. I'm not surprised. I think Hoopy is probably the most yoga individual in our community. He does, I believe, value my journey as well because he's been on a very similar path for so long. I don't know if he's hearing this, so I would want to ask him a question, but I think that he's still in the before of the stream. Maybe you can tell me on the comments afterwards, Hoopy. Double mission! Channeling and uplifting. I've become like a hermit. Me and you both. Ascended Masters aren't easily offended. Challenge accepted. We'll begin with garden variety. Yo mama jokes. Oh, that's hilarious. Double mission. Channeling and uplifting humanity. The Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission: to grow at a soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, to speak, or to channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, Palladians are the chattiest. And so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in the great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. You hear that? You hear that? Your presence and unique light is needed. Hold this card. Hold this card on your heart and say, I call upon Palladian consciousness of the highest realms and highest good of humanity to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of Source. Let me channel in a way that also serves myself. When I closed my eyes, I saw an eagle from top down. I was above the eagle as it had its wings spread out, looking at the ground. Yes. Bye-bye, Lane. Lane is going on his way, hitting the road now. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. 11 hours of driving. Here we go. Safe travels, Lane. Hit the road, Lane. And do come back in a moment. No. I was just like, that hit the road line got me. Hit the road, Lane. And do come back tomorrow. Hit the road. Stop. I'm making myself cringe as well. This sounds like the dream Mr. Kiesel had before he assigned everyone extra work in Grandma's Boy. I am confused. I don't think I saw that one. Did I watch Grandma's Boy? Wasn't that like an offensive movie? Wasn't it the one of the grandma that like ate the brownies? Or the one where they like hide flowers in the bong? Was it that movie? I'm not sure. What I am sure of is that this stream has come to its natural end, and I thank you for joining me again. It is a pleasure sharing the space. I thank you for sharing it with me. Hoopy giving us a melt head. I love that so much. Zano is awesome. Zano is the one who made those stickers, and I love that. That one is my favorite of all of them. Love to you, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think I saw that one. Sounds like you did. Your grandma's got high on Sophie's tea. There it is. Yeah, the tea. Threw a house party, then smoked the weed that turned them into a deer. I think I saw it, but I think it's one of those movies that I saw while I wasn't supposed to see it or something like that. And I like forgot it to make sure that if they scanned my memories, they don't have any definitive proof or something. Love is true. Thank you, friends, for joining me. I'll see you again soon, okay? Goodbye, everybody. Till we do it tomorrow. Cheers, everyone.